Thanks for joining us here at Functional Bliss, where Audra and Jessica will guide you through exercises and wellness techniques to help you live your best life every day. It's in the name after all, Functional Bliss. Before you do anything else, click like and subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know whenever we put up a new video. To join our Blissful Gang for live Zoom classes where you can get more direct suggestions and encouragement, go to our website and sign up. Check the class description below for any equipment needs, grab your gear, and let's get started.
We are ready to get started with our weights class today. So we're going to start with checking in, swinging our arms side to side, seeing how our back's feeling this morning. If everything's feeling good, maybe lift the heels, turn a little further, swing a little faster, let the arms fly out a little more. And then one more to each side. And bring it right back to the middle. Come into our big side bend. And then we're moving into our forward reaches. Again, just waking things up. You guys know how we do. And then bringing everything back to center, bringing the feet out a little bit, doing some nice big hip circles in one direction. And then the other direction. Taking it down a level, getting ready for some good strength work. Bringing the feet in, doing a little bop with the knees. Then maybe both knees together. And then if it feels good in your knees, maybe a little circle in one direction. And then the other direction. And then pedaling out the ankles. Coming into a little rotation through the wrists. If you're going one direction, go ahead and switch to the other way. And then bringing everything back to center. Give your fingers and toes a good wiggle. Shake out anything else that might need to be shook. And then we're going to get started. So we're going to do a split deadlift first. So one weight or two, up to you. I actually like to do just one heavier weight with this one because it helps you isolate each side independently. I'm going to go for my nice heavy. And then I'm going to put 1 foot behind me, come down and then up. And then at the 30-second mark, I'll tell you to switch and we'll go to the other side. So grab whatever weight is right for you. For me, heavy today means about 18 pounds, but your mileage may vary. And here we go. Taking it slow and easy today. Making the muscles work in both directions. I find that the heavier I go, the slower I go. Because, gotta be safe. Switching sides in 3, 2, 1, and switch. Still breathing. Keeping that little soft bend in the knees. Driving up through the heels. Beautiful. And time. All right, now from here, we are going to stay with one weight. And we're going to do a goblet squat, holding it right in the center, but I'm going to show you without the weight first, because what we're going to do here is come up for a calf raise, holding our squat. We're just going to alternate back and forth for the whole minute. So get the weight that's right for you that you can hold in that squat the whole time. I'm sticking with my heavy weight for right now. Here we go. Nice and steady. And you can hold it up by your shoulders. You can hold it down in front of your ribs. You can even let it fall all the way so it's hanging down. I like the front rack position. Beautiful. Nice and steady. Not rushing it. Taking that little pause at the top of the calf raise on each side. 20 seconds to go. Keep breathing. Almost there. And time. All right, now wiggle out those legs just a little bit. Next thing we're gonna do is you're probably gonna want a lighter weight, but you're still gonna use one weight. So I'm gonna go down a little. Now, what kind of weight you have is gonna dictate how you hold it, but we're gonna go for a narrow row. So we're gonna be feet even in that nice 45-degree flat back position. Hands either in the middle or, depending on the shape of your weight, on the sides. And then you're pulling it right into your ribs. Trying to keep your hands in as much as possible. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. I'm gonna do the vertical grip. And that means I'm gonna have to switch my hands at the 30-second mark. So I'm getting each side nice and even. If you have one hand on top of the other, you're gonna switch those right now. Focusing on that nice flat back and keeping the elbows in tight. 10 seconds to go. And time. Beautiful. All right. Now, this next one we are going to want, again, probably a heavier weight, but what that means to you is up to you. I'm going to go down just a little bit from my super heavy weight, but still on the heavier side. And I'm going to be curling it up and then pressing it out. So we're working the arms and the chest and the back. Beautiful. 1 minute. Here we go. Now, on that press out, we want to keep that soft bend in the elbows. So we're not locking them out. And if you have any clicking or pinching or irritation, shorten that range of motion even a little bit more. Halfway there already. I like to pull my belly in nice and tight here and tuck my tail under so I get a good core workout while I'm doing this. 5 seconds to go. And time. Perfect. All right, now from here you're going to want chair, sofa, table, anything that you can, even yoga blocks, anything that you can use to help you get a supported flat back. So I'm going to come to parallel to the floor, 1 foot in front of the other with the heel tapping down. And this one is not going to use any weight. We're just lifting the hip to pull the heel off the floor and then lowering it back down. We're going to do 30 seconds on each leg, starting now. And the key to this one is slow and controlled movement and keeping the belly pulled in nice and snug. So you're working your hip and your glutes and your core. It's a little movement. It's only about, 2 to 4 inches depending on your hip flexibility. Switching sides into 1 and switch. But as long as you're keeping that hip and that belly nice and firm, you're getting some good mobility work and also strengthening that standing leg. Almost there. And time. Perfect. All right. And then, just to make sure we're still burning some good calories here, we're going to come back to a little more active finish. We're going to do pushing side bends. So you will need 2 weights for this one. And you're going to push up and push down at the same time. You're not reaching all the way up. We're just doing a little motion here, concentrating on the back and the core. And we'll switch at the 30-second mark. Go. I don't know if you guys can tell, but my bottom arm is bending just a little bit as well. As I come into center, both my elbows are a little bent. So I'm kind of pushing and pulling. Beautiful. Switching sides in 3, 2, 1, and switch. Keep breathing. Working through the back, working through the core, working through the arms. Nice, looking good, guys. And time. All right. That is the end of our first set. So go grab some water. We still have 2 sets to go. All right. Coming back into center, going back into our split stance deadlift. Again, I like to go heavier on this one, but you grab the weight that's right for you. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Nice flat back, good hip hinge. Beautiful. Whether you go all the way to the floor or down to the mid-shin, or even just reaching down towards your knees, does not matter. What matters is that you are pushing up through your heel, switching sides, now, and that you're keeping a nice flat back. Looking good. Almost there. And time. Perfect. All right. Whatever weight is right for you for that squat with the calf raise. They call it a PA squat, actually. For those ballet terms. I'm not familiar with ballet, so. All right, here we go. Rocking the tail under, keeping the belly in tight. Relaxing the shoulders down away from the ears. Halfway done already. Keep breathing. We have 15 seconds to go. How deep are you squatting? I don't care. However deep feels right for you. If you think you could sink a little lower, go for it. If you're good where you are, stay there. And time. All right, switching now to maybe a little lighter weight. I'm actually going to go heavier than I did the first round for that narrow grip row. So flat back, hands together, pulling it right up into the belly. And here we go. The narrow grip helps us keep our elbows in tight and makes us work more of our lats instead of our rhomboids in the upper back. The lats are those big muscles. They look kind of like wings, if you've ever seen an anatomy photo. And they're really important to keep strong for functional movement. If you've got one hand on top of the other, go ahead and switch those hands. Perfect. 15 seconds to go. And time. Beautiful. All right, up next we have the curl to the press out. So 1 minute on the clock for this one. And here we go. I like to do this one in almost a little mini squat. Got a little generous bend in my knees. Tail tucked. Keeping my belly button pulled in nice and tight. Makes it into a full body movement. Over halfway there. Nice and steady. Beautiful. 5 seconds to go. And time. All right, from here is where we're going into that hip lift. So setting the weight aside, finding a position in whatever manner works in your space. Again, upper body parallel to the floor or as close as you can get it. 1 foot in front, and we'll switch halfway through. There we go. Neutral spine. Pulling the belly button in. Trying to keep the back as flat as you can. Switching legs in 3, 2, 1, and switch. Perfect. Almost there. And time. All right. Giving everything a little wiggle, and then getting the weight set up for those pushing side bends. And here we go. Contracting just a little in the middle, and then expanding, pushing up and down. Staying within a comfortable range of motion and switching sides in 3, 2, 1, and switch. Good. And time. All right, that is the end of our second round. Grab some more water. We still have one round to go. All right, bringing it back in. Getting ready for that split stance deadlift. One foot kicked back. And here we go. Bending the knees. Hinging back at the hip. You might feel your glutes start to kick on. Like you're reaching your tush back towards the wall behind you. Perfect. And switching sides now. Beautiful. Same flat back. Same hinging back with the hip. And of course, still breathing. Time. All right, pulling it in, getting ready for the squat with that alternating calf raise. Here we go. Again, checking in with your spine here, maybe tucking the tail under, pulling the belly button in, keeping everything nice and long. I like to keep my eyes straight ahead, although sometimes I look down, both to check the timer and to make sure my feet are where they're supposed to be. Sometimes I gotta keep an eye on those guys. But good form is eyes straight ahead. 15 seconds to go. Time. All right. Giving everything just a little wiggle. And then getting ready for that narrow grip row. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. 45-degree angle. Flat back. Tail tucked. Perfect. And then if you're using that vertical grip with your hands overlapping, we're switching hands. Which hand is on top? Now. Nice. Less than 10 seconds to go. And time. Perfect. All right. Going for the curl to press out this time. I'm going to be bold and stay with my heavier weight or my medium heavy weight. I think this one's 12 pounds. 1 minute on the clock. Let's do it. Perfect. Well, what grip you use here also really depends on what kind of weight you're using. It affects how you work the muscles slightly from how you're gripping, but because of the nature of this movement, you're going to work the same general area no matter what grip you use. Overhand, you add a little more forearm work in. Underhand, you add a little extra bicep work, and it changes what part of the chest. And turned in, focuses it a little more on the chest. So you can play with the grip, but again, you're hitting that whole area regardless. And time. All right, coming into our last round of those hip lifts. Getting our mobility work on. "30 seconds on each leg, starting now." Checking in here. Shifting the weight in the standing foot back towards the heel. Pulling the belly in tight. Switching legs in 3, 2, 1, and switch. Ten seconds to go. And time. All right. Repositioning in whatever way makes sense for you. Getting ready for our pushing side bend. And here we go. Nice. Switching hands in 3, 2, 1, and switch. Again, finding a comfortable range of motion. No clicking or crunching or pinching. And it may not be the same on this side as the other side. No worries. Meet your body where it is. Five seconds to go here. And time. Set those weights down. Clear your space, because we are done with our third round. All we have left is our final stretch. And of course, grab a little more water. All right, coming into the center of your mat. Taking a moment to take a nice deep breath in and out. And then on the next one, we're gonna shrug the shoulders all the way up as we inhale. And then exhale and let them slide right on down. And again, inhale up. Exhale down. And one more. From there, we're going to inhale our arms all the way up over our head and fold towards the floor. However close you get to it is fine. Taking just a moment here, and then with a big bend in the knees, rolling all the way up. Roll those shoulders down and back. And then going right into our shoulder stretch, taking one arm across. And then adding maybe a little look over that extended hand. Maybe a little nod of the head up and down there. And then releasing and returning to center and going to the other side. Looking over that extended hand. Maybe adding a little nod up and down. And then returning to center and releasing. Breathing the arms up overhead again. Reaching down towards the floor. Maybe getting a little closer to it this time. Maybe not. Pausing one breath here. And then big bend in the knees, rolling all the way up. Reaching. This time we're going to come into a little standing twist. So one hand on the hip, reaching around almost like you're trying to reach to the other arm. And then maybe a little look over the shoulder. Or maybe to the other hip, whatever's comfortable for you. And then unwinding and going to the other side, reaching for the shoulder or the hip, either way. Maybe looking over that back shoulder. Still breathing. And then releasing, coming back to center. One more time, breathing the hands up over her head. Folding down towards the floor. Staying here a couple breaths this time. And then one more. And then big bend in the knees, rolling all the way up. Coming back to the neck just for a moment. Dipping one ear towards the shoulder. Pausing, letting everything relax, release. One more breath. And then breathing up to center and over to the other side. Again, just that little pause here. Some of the exercises we did today, especially when we're in that lean forward, some people will grip through their back and the back of their neck. So it's important to pay a little extra attention to it on occasion. And then right back up to center. And then to finish off, one foot forward, stretching through the back body just a little. And then coming right back up and switching sides. And then right back up. And finish off with any other stretches that would feel good in your body. We are done. Thank you for coming out this morning.